Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream Park today. Ron Nicoletti here with Brian Nato. And Brian, fast main track. Of course, the Tapeta held up beautifully yesterday with the monsoon conditions we had.
That picture that we just saw looks a little better than yesterday, right? I know in Fort Lauderdale yesterday was pretty ugly, and I know you were up close and personal to it down here trying to dodge the rain. So, yeah, it looks like we have a good day on tap at least.
Yeah, it's really nice out now. Not too hot, a little humidity, but that's typical South Florida weather. And we have a $200,000 jackpot guarantee in the Rainbow Six. We have a 10-race card today, 3 stakes races. 2 of those stakes are in the Rainbow Six situation, so we'll see it in Miami Beach. We'll talk about a little later on. Really good race. With that said, took care of all the early business. We're going to delve right into this 10-race card. The first race is going to be that about distance of 1 1/8 miles on the Tapeta for maiden claimers, 3 and up. $12,500. And Brian, I know you put an early pick 5 ticket together.
Yeah, $48, and it was with all the rain yesterday, but the Tapeta, obviously we have it here, so the card really stayed intact today, so I didn't lose anybody, and here's the sequence here. We'll talk about the opener in a second, but a little spread in race 2. I did not have a strong opinion. I thought it was a race where, it's relatively tough to trust group. I put Titanic Rose on top, but I do go 3 deep. Here's kind of a bold single. I don't know how bold it will be, Ronnie, when we get to post in the first stakes, the Journeyman Stud. I singled Peter D., who is really fast on figures at least. Does stretch out, obviously tries at Tapeta for the first time, but I kind of thought he just might have been the best horse in here. Maybe gets loose as well. So there's the single. 2 and 8 in race 4. We'll show a video on Wandering for Tom Proctor. Todd Pletcher's got the heavy favorite in Amani's Image, and then a definite spread in the Get Out leg, 2, 5, 6, 12. I've got number 12 on top, Mr. Tito's off the Peter Walder claim, but it's a tough, contentious race. This could be a really juicy early pick 5. We'll see how it shakes out. I've got a single to keep it to $48, but I singled in a race where you could go probably 3 or 4 deep.
Yeah, that's an interesting single in there and a good one, because if that one wins, this thing will play very handsomely. Right, it's a complex ticket, and we'll see how it plays out in here. Don't know how you started this race. I did go with the number 4, Billy Bones, who's dropping to the 12.5 level today, and you did too on the Tapeta. Rallied to finish 4th. It was against similar quality, going 1 1/8 miles on the turf. For Ronnie Spatz, who's pretty sharp with his route runners, and all his horses have been running well all spring, summer, and now fall long.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And, Billy Bones still has upside in a race where not a lot of these do. I don't really know where the last race came from. But if he doesn't regress and if he moves forward, the rest of these are in real trouble. He ran a big number on the thoroughgraphs that day. If he comes right back and fires that shot, he's going to be tough in here.
The number 7, Sette Stelle, is debuting on the Tapeta also. You're going to hear that an awful lot this afternoon. The horse is first trying it. Rallied wide to finish 2nd in front of Billy Bones last time out. I just thought Billy Bones, when you go back and look, ran the better race in here. 1C Avila is the trainer, and he's got the apprentice Franklin Callis in the ticket.
Is this the day? Yeah. 0 for 15. Yeah. They all have to win sometime. This might be the day, but, you're going to take an underlaid price, no margin for error, and it's just, it's a horse that you look at the form, good race, bad race, good race, bad race, at least on figures. You wonder if there's regression coming today, and I don't know. I've got to see it before I believe it.
I'm just looking. We have the same exact
TV,
right? Super here. The number 2, Hillbillies, current 7.5 favorite, very, very early in the wagering, stretching out after showing improved tactical speed, I thought, when switching from turf to 1 mile on the main track. 4, Safi, I think that's part of the allure here with Edgar Zayas atop this gelded son of Not This Time. Not This Time, if you go to the Tapeta sire ratings that we have from Progressive, gets an A+. So maybe that's what they're looking at, or it's just Safi.
Yeah, it's Safi, the Ramses, Edgar Zayas is here. And, little trouble 2 back, I should say, in the turf run. This is the 3rd horse I use. 7 to 5 is, way too low. But as you alluded to, very early in the betting. I think he's a player, but, he's also another one, you know what you're dealing with here. Kind of tough to trust 12.5 maiden claimers.
Exactly. And going to the second race, it's a 1 mile maiden claiming for a filly 2-year-olds, $12,500. And this is a wide open affair, as you said there. Let's start it off with your horse. horse in here, and that's a Titanic Rose on the inside, the one with Miguel Vasquez in the saddle.
Yeah, I mean, the lone dirt run at Timonium wasn't bad at all. It plays with a group like this. Anybody that you like in here, regardless, has little margin for error and is not much better than anyone else. Down inside, we can save some ground. It should be a square price, too, for a Brooks barn that wins races at a very, very high percentage.
I went with the number 5, She's a Gift, who's dropping to the level we're talking about of 12-5, stretching out to the mile this afternoon after rallying to finish second. Against those 16 maidens going 7/8 of a mile, Jose Pinchin, Emiciel Jaramillo negotiating the additional furlong. Handicapping 101. This horse just looks like in a good spot, going to take that jump forward. Probably going to take most of the money in there.
If you need a single, this is probably it. I mean, you're going to get an underlaid price, but there's no doubt she's the one to beat. Like I said, though, her margin for error over the rest of these isn't much. Does try stretching out a little bit. It still is one turn, but it is a stretch out, so we'll see what happens. But, yeah, she's clearly the horse to beat off her proven form.
And what about the number 6, a horse I did not use, and that is Island Winter? And that's what you're going to hear a lot in this race because it's that wide open.
Yeah, I don't know. You look at the fast main track dirt run. It wasn't bad. A decent third. It was a slow race, and she's got to improve, but she's only run 3 times. She'll get back on a faster main track today. A nice outside attack post with tactical speed, square price. I'll toss her in there.
And the number 4 Mud Shaft is stretching out to this the mile, one-turn mile we're talking about. Going to wear blinkers today. Responded last time to that surface change from turf to dirt with a second. Against this same, going 5.5. The Apprentice is going to jump aboard today, Franklin Callis. So we'll see how that race plays out. Good race for you to spread a little bit. 3 stakes races on the card this afternoon. And the first one is actually on the Tapeta. It's about 1 mile, 70 yards. This is Florida-bred 2-year-olds, $60,000. The Journeyman Stud Juvenile. And I want to hear about this 2-horse here. This is the one you sing with. I'm liking this.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't this horse maybe get loose with an aggressive ride? Wired on debut and looked really good doing it. Got run off his feet a little bit last time going 5, but now we stretch out. I think with an aggressive ride, he can make the front. If you're a speed figure fan, regardless of what kind you use, I mean, this horse hits really, really hard. Can he get 2 turns? I don't know. That's the question mark, but a lot of them have to answer it too, and we try the Tapeta as well. I'm just going to try to see if he can get brave at what should be an okay price. I don't think we're going to see 5, Ron, but this is a race where, as you alluded to, you can spread here by singling. If nothing else, I kind of get an advantage on the rest of the betting public a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. You're talking about the figs in here. So the horse I put up top, this was my problem with the horse and why I like this. Yeah, slow. My C Meister, I'm talking about. Back locally, moving to the Tapeta, of course, but I like the maiden victory on the turf here last time out. Goes up to Colonial. Now, I don't know how to judge this going up to Colonial and finishing third in a $100,000 Kitten's Joy. Colonial, that could be a 25 claimer compared to, I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm being honest. But I like the work that Kelsey Dana does. I was struggling whether to put this horse on top. Of course, what was it last time, a 48 buyer or something like that. And Miguel Vasquez handling the surface switch. More for me, I like the connections, and I just thought this horse, traveled up there, didn't disappoint. Maybe comes down and runs well here today.
Yeah, has a local 2-turn win. It was on the turf. So, again, you can assume that he'll handle this surface as well. But, everything you said, I totally agree with. He's slow on paper. The fact that she sent him up to Colonial is a positive. He was third in a stakes for whatever that's worth. It'll just be interesting to see what the betting public does with him, too. I mean, they're going to see these slow figures. I think if you're spreading, you certainly have to use him. And if I was, I'm definitely using him. But I just went with the horse that at least, on paper might be faster than these.
Yeah, no, you make a great point. The one horse in here, Hey Porter, bred for the distance. He's the son of Upstart, stretching out to the mile and 70 on the Tapeta. Followed his 50 maiden score with a 3rd place finish. That was against those 75 optional claimers going 6 on the sealed sloppy track. So right away, you're dealing with a sealed sloppy track. You don't know what you're going to get going around 2 turns. Certainly bred to Jorge Delgado, 25% with 2 sprints to a route. So he's got Chantal in the saddle. So maybe this one wakes up at this mile and 70. Once again, the guesswork is out because of the surface switch.
Yeah, I mean, the barn's been white hot since the statistics kind of reset themselves a little bit. First time gelding as well. We're going to save all the ground. Chantal's had a pretty darn good spring and summer here down in South Florida. So there's a lot of reasons to like Hey Porter, too.
Yeah, she won 4 races. 4 of 9 races on Sunday the other day. Let's flip the page and go to race number 4 this afternoon. And it's a mile maiden special weight filly, 2-year-olds. And I know that you have a replay you want to show.
I do. We're going to show a 2-part replay here. Thank you, guys, for piecing that together for me. Here's Wandering. The 4 is going to check out of it a little early and kind of lose all hope. And it's Tom Proctor and Glenn Hill. They're not really that interested in winning with a first-time starter either. So here's she going to drop back. Whoa, I mean, the check's really out of it. We're only going 6 that day. So now we'll pick it up entering the far turn as you see her. And now she's going to come into your picture here. And I thought, Ron, for a first-time starter, oh, by the way, the dam is a half to Latruska, by the way. I mean,
really?
That's pretty good, right? Okay, so here she is on the outside. I mean, this is no great shakes, but she shows a lot of interest. And as you know, a lot of times these first-time starters, when they don't have things their own way, they just quit and see you next time. But I thought she ran on pretty gallantly in the lane. She passes a few horses. She kind of shows a lot of interest in deep stretch. As I alluded to, Tom's not a guy that really cares about winning first out. He's a progression type of guy. Now she stretches out. Now she gets a 1-turn mile, a much more better distance for her pedigree. And aside from the Pletcher horse that I'm sure we're going to talk about in a second, there's no one in here that you're really that scared of. I think she moves forward in a big way. She'll be a decent enough price, so I put her on top in here.
Well, you're right. When you're in those youngsters, even if they've had a start or two, if they have to re-rally, put it that way, after being, saw that getting hammered at the 5/8 pole, it's hard for them to run. But this horse has showed some late interest and a good video to show. I did go with the 5 in here, and that's perfect provision. Who's stretching out to the mile today after setting the pace and finishing second as the 3-5 favorite, going 6 last time out. I found the stat on Saffie Joseph Jr. over the last couple of years with his 2-year-olds going from 2 sprints to a route on the dirt. He's 10 for 34, 29%. 59% in the money. 144 is the return of investment. And everybody was waiting for us to talk about Amani's Image. I was not. You were up in Saratoga. This horse didn't show me that much. I'm not talking about this horse, of course. We're talking about Todd's horse in here.
Yeah, and she might be dressed up off fast figure races, but she didn't do any running at all, Ron. I mean, none whatsoever. And the horse that ran off the screen and won last time, another Todd horse, came back and was 6th in the Frizette. I mean, yes, behind Echo Zulu, I get that, but she didn't do any running either. So I think she's a little dressed up, at least on figures, off these races where she was well beaten. And sometimes you get carried along by a fast figure winner. Listen, can she win? Absolutely. But, I mean, we're both kind of in the same boat. She can do it without us at probably a pretty short number.
Yeah, be sure. And, you look at the works at Palm Beach Downs. That's where Todd trains his horses all winter long. He's got a bullet work, but I think it's against 6 horses, so there's not that many horses there yet. So I don't know how much you read into that. We both had some interest in the 3, Mina Grita, who's bred to respond favorably to the distance. The daughter of Bodemeister, stretching out. Pressed the pace, finished second in a 50 debut, going 6. Amanda de la Cerda, pretty solid with horses stretching out in distance over 20%. Jesus Rios in the saddle. I thought this horse is okay at the 1-turn mile.
Not impossible at all. She could be inside speed, 20% second out maidens, as you mentioned, 21% sprinter out. So there's angles to like here.
Okay, that's the first 4. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my winning Rainbow 6 ticket. How's that sound?
I like it.
Welcome back to Gulfstream. Today, Ron and Brian going through the Saturday card, and we come to race number 5, a 1-mile claimer, 3 and up, $6,250, and it's where the Rainbow 6 starts with a $200,000 jackpot guarantee pool. let's look at my $43.20 ticket. And I did go, it's the reverse pyramid angle for me. And I did go 3 deep in here with Plato, Malibu Max, and Keepsake Kitten from Bobby DeBona. I liked the one horse in race number 6, Freak. I think you like that horse a little bit this afternoon. That's my long shot, and I think it is yours too.
Yes, sir.
World Gone Wild go on a win streak, and Mackenzie's Girl in there. In race number 7, just went 3 deep again with Shady Capture, Stormy Patton, and I'll finish that one from Eddie Plesa Jr. And then we got stakes race in 8. It's the Kozan Juvenile. I like Harper Be Good in that spot. You know, was flattered by running behind Diamond Wow. Is going to be a really nice horse. But I did also use She's So Beautiful. And then the 9th race. This race, if you like hard-knocking horses, this is the toughest race I've handicapped in quite a while. It's the Miami Beach. I like Eye of a Jedi in there. I was tempted to single this horse. I think he's going to be a little bit ignored with the other good horses in here. Noble Drama, Shiver, goes right down the line. They're all stakes winners, previous stakes winners. So I think with Eye of the Jedi, came this close to single in that horse. And then in the last race, just 2 in there for me, Riveting Spirit and A Thing of Beauty. And that's what I'm going to call my ticket, A Thing of Beauty.
King Guillermo coming back too.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a great stakes on a Saturday. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's a real good one. So getting back to this 5th race here, I did go with the 5 Plato, who's back locally for Kent Sweezy after a solid campaign on the Jersey Shore in which he was first or second in 6 consecutive races against similar quality. Angel Arroyo rides. It's really a hard-knocking 4-year-old. I don't know how to translate not having a whip up there in Mount Monmouth. Did these horses run better with or without it? I think so. Coming down here, I just thought Plato was the was the right one. I know I saw Mr. Tito's. I started stumbling. That's my drink, you know.
Settle down. Later. We got like 5 hours. Settle down.
I see that Mr. Tito's. I start to shake a little. We have our exact. Oh no, you got the 12 on top. I get a little further down.
Plato's going to win if he runs back to that last race. I mean, this is a class drop, and Ken Sweezy knows how to play poker here. He claims this one for, from Carlos David up at Monmouth. He gets a good run in a spot at Delaware Park against Better. Now he's in for $62.50 with a $21,000 purse. So Ken's saying, take him if you want him, but I'll get out and do fine. So, what do you get off that last run? If he runs that race again, he's going to be really tough for the rest of these.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with Mr. Tito's, and I see you put him on top. I kept going back and forth. I don't know if it was the post that, turned me away from this horse when I was first handicapping it, but it's Peter Walder, Edgar Zayas.
Yeah, I mean, listen, his last 2 dirt races are right there with the favorites, 7s and 8s on the thoroughgraphs, and no disrespect to the Jennifer Young barn, but, Peter Walder knows how to move him up off the claim. This horse hit hard with that barn in this race. Now goes to Peter Walder, maybe moves up a little bit and gives the favorite a tussle in here.
Yeah, and Edgar Zayas, if you want anybody to handle that outside post, he's the guy you want aboard. The number 6 horse in here, Malibu Max, is wheeling back, rallied to finish second, was as the favorite behind that late closing winner last time out. Keepsake Kitten in here. So I just thought off those 4, Malibu Max, the former trained by Bobby DeBona, the other one trained by Louis Oliveras, just came flying at the end. I think it was Malibu Max's race until Keepsake Kitten showed up.
Yeah, Malibu Max ran so much better than Keepsake Kitten, doing all the dirty work, pressing, chasing. Keepsake Kitten comes down and runs them all. And you look at the proven form of Malibu Max, maybe you wonder Keepsake Kitten regresses off that big run. Might not get that hitting up front either.
Yeah, and see, that's what I said. I don't think he's either going to need another perfect pace setup to come from the clouds and win again, for sure. I like this when I saw your selections this morning. Like, oh, look, we both like Freak in here.
5-2, here we come.
I don't know if that says what that says about us. 5.5 furlongs, allowance optional claimers, state bred, fillies and mares 3 and up. Optional tag is 12.5. You didn't hear me mentioning many scratches. Of course, there aren't many scratches. I think we got 1 in the first, and one here, 1 in the 5th, and 2 in the last. That really didn't affect the way we did the card today. Take it over with Freak. Let's see if we agree. Why?
I mean, it's the weird spot is a good spot angle. I mean, this horse is a maiden. Running against winners off a February layoff. Edgar Zayas says, sure, I'll come back and ride this one. Was a good 3rd last time with a big figure. We get maturity. The barn is solid enough off this, plenty of works here on display. And I just think it's such a weird spot that to me it's a positive. They're going to ride a Florida-bred maiden race, but he says, no, I don't need that race. Let's just run against winners. And listen, aside from the 8, World Gone Wild, clearly the horse to beat. Who else are we supposed to be scared of in here?
Yeah, when he's training well and he runs well fresh, and a lot of people see maiden. Oh, can't have a maiden against winners. I didn't see that. Like you said, I don't know, what is it, 8-1 in the morning line?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get 8-1 in
Not
the morning
quite.
line. No, but we'll see. And then number 8, World Gone Wild. Certainly, we'll try these state-bred optional claimers today after reeling off consecutive 12-5 claiming victories. The last at this 5.5 furlong distance, right? I don't know if I gave you the conditions, but 5.5 furlongs, I think I did. If not, 5.5 allowance optional claimer for those state breds. The now horse for Kelsey Danner.
Yeah, if you're not picking up what Ronnie and I are putting down with Freak, then you're singling World Gone Wild, because he is clearly the horse to beat. 2 strong wins, fast figures as well, drawn perfectly, can set the pace if no one goes, can press the pace if there's speed inside. She's going to be really problematic for a hat trick here today.
The number 3, Mackenzie's Girl, is turning back to 5.5 furlongs today after setting a pressured pace last time out. Got caught late in back-to-back 12-5 state-bred optional claimers. Those were going 3/4. Kent Sweezy, Emma Seal Jaramillo atop this. Here's the thing. It's a 1-for-12 daughter of Take Charge Indy, doesn't like to win. We got tries. We got supers. And that's where I'm going to put this horse.
I got it circled here. 1 for 12 with 8 underneath finishes. And she's the inside speed with the best horse in the race, pressing her from the outside.
Right.
Can she get a piece? Absolutely. Like you said, she does it all the time. I don't know about a win, though.
Yeah, and you got tries, we got supers, we got everything you might need here to bet. Race number 7 this afternoon. 6 furlongs maiden special weight. These are state-bred 2-year-olds. And you went with the number 1. That's right in here. Let's see what you have with simplification. We'll start it there.
The figure was really fast, and you've got to question it because it was on the Tapeta, and we're just kind of, even the figure makers are kind of starting to try to get a feel for the surface. With that being said, I thought this horse ran really, really well. Antonio Sano, not really known as a first-out guy. The rail might be a little problematic in here, but you look at the firsters, and we'll talk about a few of them here coming up. There's not a lot of pedigree involved with them. The trainers here, if you're going to beat Safi, typically it's with a first-time starter. If nothing else, simplification has shown he can run a little bit, and I'm going to go with it. Maybe we get a decent price too.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, as you said, with this new surface coming around. Now horses are going not only to the Tapeta, they're going back to the main track. So you got to see how these horses play out. I did go with one of those firsters, and it's Shady Capture, who's the son of Uncaptured, debuting for Carlos David. Solid work tab showing at Palm Meadows. Got a stat on Carlos David with his 2-year-old first-time starters, maiden special weight over the past couple of years. He's 4 for 16, 25%. 50% in the money, 220 is the return of investment. So solid numbers here. It's a first-time starter. Do you go with a horse that has some experience, or do you go with one of these first-time starters for a bond that has been doing very well all year long? Sammy Camacho going in today is our leading ride. He's just been riding up a storm. So I threw this one on top of the ticket.
Yeah, now we start the late pick 4 here, and even for the late pick 5 in race 6, check the doubles, Will Pays, check the tote action, because Stormy Pattern and Shady Capture, they're supposed to get bet for Potent Barnes. A lot of work's on display. 13th foal out of the dam here, so she's been doing some good work. Carlos David, you mentioned Sammy Camacho. Great job to kick off, this little meet that we're running before the championship meet, and he does very well with Carlos David, too.
Yeah, and Stormy Patton is the son of Garner Stray, debuting for Safi. We mention this all the time. The barn is 12% with first-time starters. Interesting that Chantal's going to jump aboard. Strong workouts right over this track here. A 5-furlong bullet back on October 3rd. He's going to take all the money in there. Absolutely going to take most of the money, I would think.
Yeah, 5th foal out of the dam. The other 4 haven't done much. And you mentioned Chantal getting aboard. And as I said, she's having a big spring and summer here at Gulfstream. She never rides for Safi. 0 for 3.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just thought, it's interesting that work on October 3rd, is going to take all the money, because that one really, really sticks out. 59-1 bullet.
Yeah. The 3 I'll finish, actually, is the morning line favorite in here, is another son of Uncaptured, like Shady Capture. Debuts Freddie Plessis Jr. This one has back-to-back bullet workouts showing over the track in preparation for this assignment. Here's where Ed Gonzalez jumps aboard. He usually rides for Safi, so do you make something with that, with the jockey switches? I don't usually follow musical jockeys,
I couldn't agree more. Another one, 13th foal out of the dam. 4 of them owned over earned over 100,000. I don't know. Eddie's 8% with firsters. You know, a barn that pretty much wins about 20% with anything. Maybe we want just a little farther. Maybe we want next time. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and he just does an incredible job, but you're absolutely right about that. So our final pick 3 this afternoon is going to start in race 8, and it's got 2 stakes in it. And the first one is going to be here in race number 8, 7 furlongs. These are Florida-bred 2-year-old fillies, $60,000, the Kozan Juvenile Fillies Sprint. And I think you have a video on the horse I think we both have on top, and that is Harper Be Good.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to show here, only except that how good Harper Be Good ran last time. And you alluded to it. Yeah. Diamond Wow's a runner for being Cone. Yeah. He just went up and got nosed out of the grade 2 Jessamine. Here's his down inside. And, you know, here's Diamond Wow to the outside, getting first run. And really, Harper Be Good can't run with this horse.
Right.
And I thought maybe, you know, that she got her spirit broken a little bit, but actually she re-rallies and chases gamely, and you're going to see she's a month ahead of the 3rd place finisher, and that's what I really wanted to show here. I mean, the gap that they put on the rest of the field in here. I mentioned Diamond Wow goes up to Keeneland and runs a real cracker. She's a really, really nice filly. This horse ran well to chase her. Nobody in this field has done anything remotely close to this effort. She's proven she's a stakes caliber filly. I mean, she's a strong favorite in here to me.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And the other thing is that, you know, talking about Diamond Wow, that horse had the race won. This horse came from the clouds. Yeah. Indiana Grand, whatever that guy's name is.
Oh, George Leonard III, I believe. Yeah,
just gets her at the wire. So that's going to be a night. You're going to hear a lot about that horse, especially that winter right here in Gulfstream Park. The other horse that I used was the 7. And after Harper Be Good, now we're going to try and fill out our tries and supers, at least in my estimation, and certainly Brian's. She's so beautiful, stretching out the 7 furlongs. She had a 2-race win streak, and when she finished a distant second to a next out stakes winner. That was called Last Leaf in the 75 optional claimer. That was going 6 on a sealed sloppy track for Carlos David. Once again mentioned in Sammy Camacho. I like Last Leaf, and I thought, you know, this one was a block behind, but I just thought that this horse would run well today, and that is the 7. She's so beautiful.
Yeah, and she's drawn well, too, and she's shown she can settle and pass horses, and I always think that's a good feather in your cap for a 2-year-old, you know, especially as the precociousness maybe wears off, and she's shown she doesn't need the lead and, you know, is beating lesser horses because she's better than them. So, yeah, I think she's a player as well. And as you alluded to, I think we both agree, certainly, that Harper Be Good is gone in here. Who's running second? Who's running third?
Yeah, and you had Hey Hombre in the second, one of these horses here from Ramon Miguet's barn. He does very good. Not a lot of starts, but he does well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, maybe looking for a little bit of a price underneath, taking a shot.
Let's go to race number 9 today. And as I mentioned, and you've heard me say the last couple of days, boy, it's a tough race to handicap, but a great race. It's the 1-mile handicap for 3-year-olds and up. It's the old Miami Beach, and we both end up with Eye of the Jedi. Like, we want to show you video first. You want to talk about Eye of the Jedi?
Well, let's talk about him because we don't have a video on Eye of the Jedi.
Oh, I thought we did. Just joking.
Yeah. I don't know. At the end of the day, isn't he better than these? He got the prep out of the way last time. He didn't want to duel on the chase and duel on the lead last time, but I think he was just fresh that day and keyed up, wanting to go. We get the prep out of the way. He's a graded stakes winner. This 1-turn mile will hit him right between the eyes. If he runs his race, he's running zeros and negatives on the thoroughgraphs. No one's beating him today, and I think the second off the layoff at a trip that's probably a little better for him, he's going to be tough.
He's going to be tough. You know, I soft spot in my heart for the horse you have in 4th. I have in 2nd, Noble Drama. But Eye of the Jedi, to me, that's why I came this close, as I said, to singling this horse. Multi-graded stakes place 6-year-old, and absolutely needed that race last time out from the 6-month layoff. I think he's sitting on go here, and I don't know what is he? He's not on the board. 6-1. Was he 6?
7-2.
7-2. So he is up there in the top 3 or 4 in the race.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. But let's take a look at the video now. And it's just a replay of the Wildcat Air last time. And here's the gang's all here, right? Good. This is a great job by the guys here. Pro Quality, Chivalry, and Noble Drama. Listen, I know you got a soft spot for him. He didn't run that well last time, right?
I was shocked. I was real. He did not.
He did not. He was flat in the lane. Maybe that 3-turn race at Charlestown, that funky layout there. Maybe that, I don't know, but he didn't really run that well. And I'm wondering if now maybe a little blooms off the rose a little bit today. And I kind of wanted to fade him a little bit in here. With that being said, if he runs this race, he's a big threat. I just need to see it.
Well, this horse, it's his best distance, 10 starts, 6 wins. Nobody has been hotter than David Fawkes, who won 5 races in a row over 2 days, and he just owns the Tapeta here. I don't know how you translate that into noble drama, but it could have been a bad day. You know what I mean? I don't have the horse on top, but I sort of got that soft spot, and I want to see one more. The barn's hot, MSC Al Jaramillo. It's a 6-year-old war horse. I'm not ready to give up yet. I'll give him one more.
And he's a really easy, cool horse to root for, too.
And number 7, you went with the number 7 was that what's his name? Returning, right?
King Guillermo.
I didn't know what to do with him.
You took the words out of my mouth. What do you do with him? I mean, if he's 9-2 up there, you probably got to like him. With that being said, Juan C is probably thinking of bigger fish to fry. I don't know. Maybe this is a start to what he hopes is the Pegasus. This is a Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby winner here. I mean, you look at the class of this horse. Buries this field. Hasn't been out since March. Probably going to need a race. Probably isn't. I don't want to say they don't care about winning today, but it's just a means to an end to get him started this winter. Well, if he fires his best shot, though, they're in deep water.
Well, earlier in the week, I showed that race from Tampa Bay when he was, I think he was 47-1 that day, and he just blew the doors off the competition. He's a really nice horse, and to know what to do when he comes back, and if he, like you said, if he runs his A game, going to be very, very dangerous in there, and then. We'll see what happens. That's what makes this great so hard to handicap. And you showed Chivalry in that replay. Chivalry's coming off a pair. He was so game in both those races at 7 furlongs. The Benny the Bull 2 starts back and, gets beat by Pro Quality like this much in the $100,000 Wildcat Air last time out. Ralph Nix, Jesus Rios, inside draw today. Does he, jump forward at a mile? You got to give him a shot. I think he's got to be a little bit of a price of 5 or 6 to 1 in here.
And he could shake out as a controlling speed. I don't really know what King Guillermo's going to do from the outside. The Jedi wants to be close, but not that close. If they let Chivalry go, they might not see him again. I mean, this is a $60,000 stakes that could easily be a grade $350,000 stakes. This is a really good group.
And here's the horse that it's the bane of my existence. The horse you have in third, Pro Quality. This horse always runs great, and I never pick it, and I don't know why.
I was with you last time, and we didn't have this horse, and I didn't see that effort coming, but it was a darn good one. He's got to answer the bell again, and he doesn't stack victories up that often, but he's a player too if he comes right back and fires his best.
Well, one thing I can tell you, it's going to be fun to watch that race. That is without a doubt. Our last race, we're going to go to the Tapeta, about a mile and a 16th. Fillies, mares 3 and up, non-winners of 2 lifetime. And I went, and you went too, with Riveting Spirit, wheeling back, rallied to finish second at this level and distance. As I mentioned, David Fawkes, when I did my analysis, was 6 for 10, 60% on the Tapeta. I think he had a loss yesterday, just got beat at the wire. So he got to change it around. Now it's 7 for 11, whatever that adds up. 6 for 11. See, I can't do that math. You got to run out of fingers. What I like, I don't know if you remember Shaba. Shaba, the horse trained by, Phil Gleaves.
Okay. Just retired, Phil Gleaves.
He kept bringing that horse to Saratoga every year. Didn't run. One year, it actually won a stake up there, minor stake or something like that. So just have a soft spot for Shaba in there. You went with the number 6, the Uncaptured Lady in second?
In second, yeah. I don't know, should be a square price. Kathleen O'Connell, the horse ran pretty well last time, trying the Tapeta today. As you mentioned, Sammy Camacho off to a hot start, does really good for this barn, too.
The one thing of beauty is debuting on the Tapeta after showing speed and finishing third against those 35 condition claimers going a mile. That was on that good turf here for the one and only Todd Pletcher with Edgar Zayas handling. I thought this might be the inside speed threat in here.
Well, I think that's the angle if you like her, because if she gets loose, maybe that's the winning formula. I don't know. I thought she was a little flat last time off Saratoga form. Didn't run that great, and probably going to be an underlay in here, too.
Yeah, and, one of the angles, this time of the year when Todd comes down, you got to give his horses maybe a look-see for the first couple of times that they run. So that's how we see the card, but we're not done. We got our lightning round, and we're going to start it off. We've got a big day at our sister track up at Maryland Million Day. And we're going to show you the field slate for the Jim McKay Maryland Million. And you can just see it there. So we'll see how these horses run. The 6-5 favorite is the number 8 in there, Tapping Cat.
Yeah, definitely a solid group. I would think if the AEs don't draw in, Tapping Cat's going to be that much more problematic for this group.
Yeah, we'll see how those horses run, but make sure you check that out. Stakes races all afternoon long. You know, going into yesterday's Stronach 5, we had a $76,000 pool, carryover, I should say, was well over $200,000, and this is how it played out. It paid $98,311.
Yeah, I didn't hit it, Ron, because I would have been late to the set today if I did. I promise you that. But, you know, look, listen, it's a darn tough sequence, but there's nothing crazy there either. You almost get 6 figures. That's remarkable.
Yeah, and you know, the 4-horse that won Golden Gate beat my 7-horse that I had in this contest yesterday by about this much. So what I'm saying, those were the 2 logical horses in that rate at Golden Gate. You know, the Bombers were at Laurel Park, and you know, 2 of the Bombers were at Laurel Park. So, well, you know, the Gulfstream Park horse I had, but, you know, down, a little further down there, I used 3 in that ticket. So another was not even close. With that said, so how about this? Crystal Lanham notches her first victory ever. So let's go back and just show you the stretch run of this race, race 5, when Mish wins. And I just wanted to give her a little props here. You know, I think she's had a couple of years, has never had a winner, and it was just exciting to see some new face win a race.
Yeah, I mean, a moment you'll never forget, and striding clear late, so congratulations. Very hard-earned.
Yeah, it was good for her. So, you know, congratulations to all the connections of that horse. And then we got our horse that I really like. It was a multiple stakes winner here right at Gulfstream Park, Shifty She. And this one, she's going to run in the Grade 3 Noble Demzelle up at Belmont. We're going to show her here winning one of her 2 stakes here, recent stakes at Gulfstream Park. And it was just a good performance. She's a nice horse. This is a Florida-bred stake now.
Yeah, Safi's done a really good job with her, and he's taken a shot at a big number, at a big prize, I should say, up at Belmont in a Grade 3. Ran very, very well, and in the ladies' turf at Kentucky Downs last time. He's really done a great job getting her off the long layoff and progressing her form, moving her forward. And listen, she's 9-2 on the morning line in a Grade 3 at Belmont. She's in with a legitimate chance up there.
Yeah, without a doubt. So that's how we see the lightning round. Everything went pretty smooth here today until I saw Mr. Tito's. But besides that, we're doing right. Hey, we're going to be back here throughout the afternoon trying to give you some useful updates. See you in a bit.